Live from Fox 8, bringing you the best high school football coverage in Northeast Ohio. Driven by Conrad's, it's Friday Night Touchdown.
Welcome to the playoffs!
Welcome to the playoffs!
Welcome to the playoffs!
The road to Canton starts tonight!
On the playoff edition of Friday Night Touchdown!
Good reads on it.
Defending state champions Chardon and St. Ed's hope to bring home the hardware again, while Kirtland and Hoban are both trying to win one more game. And you never know who could pull an upset, so stick around. The playoff highlights are coming up. Good Saturday morning. I'm PJ Ziegler along with John Sabol, and it is playoff time on Friday Night Touchdown.
We have highlights from several first-round games, starting with the defending state champion St. Edward Eagles.
For us, it's part of the process. We talk about building the foundation our first year back and stuff like that. And, you know, our end goal is to be able to compete against teams like this.
Stowe coach Martin Potter is realistic about being a 16th seed. St. Edward's first possession, Kyan Mason turns a short pass into a 38-yard gain to the 5, and from there, Marvin Bell will bolt on into the end zone. Ed's up early 7-0. Stowe kept punting, and St. Ed's kept returning those kicks. Mason again went to the left, and here comes back to the right and goes all the way, but it's called back. It doesn't count, but, you know, it was just so good we had to show you. A couple of plays later, Marvin Bell scored his second touchdown, 12 yards out. St. Ed's rolls over Stowe 49-6. The Eagles will now face Maslin Jackson next. PJ.
Welcome to Byers Field, a historic night for John Marshall. The Lawyers playing in their first ever playoff game. They're taking on St. Ignatius. These two programs haven't met since 1978. St. Ignatius riding an 18-game win streak against John Marshall. Tough start for John Marshall. They fumble on their opening possession. It leads to a Sean Martin 2-yard touchdown run and a 7-0 St. Ignatius lead. More bad news for the Lawyers. They can't handle the snap on this punt. The Wildcats recover and take over at the John Marshall 16-yard line. That leads to a Max Ritt 4-yard touchdown run and a 14-0 Wildcats lead. St. Ignatius adds a field goal, making it 17-0. Then Michael Norman puts the game away with a 4-yard touchdown run, and the Wildcats advance with a 33-6 win. They will play Cleveland Heights next week. John.
Conference playoff action here in Medina hosting Strongsville. The Bees try to make it 2 straight over the Mustangs, beating them here earlier in the season by 21 points. Mustangs coming in as a big underdog.
Yeah, Strongsville looking for its first playoff win since 2008. Spoiler alert, it didn't happen. Tough task last night, though. Medina's offense had a slow start. Bees got going here. Dan Stoddard finds Carlos Corchado. Full extension over the pylon. Count it. Touchdown, Medina. 7-0 battling Bees. Strongsville would hang around early. Nolan Beard, the sophomore quarterback, calls his own number. QB keeper weaving through the defense and then hits and boom into the great paint. Touchdown, Mustangs. But Medina would wake up, took control in the final 3 quarters, outscoring Strongsville 35-0. Medina rolls 42-7. Bees move on. Now PJ has the playoff Sky scores.
All right, Irish driving and Santino Harper running off tackle and down inside the Hornets' 10-yard line. This is John Hay and St. Vincent St. Mary playing. Next play, Caden Spry up the middle for a fullback.
Sky score.
7-0 St. V's, and they were just getting started after a Hay punt. Markel Carter avoids the rush, rolls right, fires a strike to Blake Kane for a nice gain. Then later in the drive, DeAnthony Kelker can walk in for another.
Sky score.
And St. V's beats Hay 50-18. Next up, the Irish face the Fitch Falcons.
Skyfox set it over to CBCA. Royals face a tough test against Aurora. Greenman driving. Alex Tenorio running hard, and just like Prince Harry, it takes 3 Royals to bring him down. Later in the drive, Sam Retton on the jet sweep. Now watch this spin move for a
Sky score.
And just like that, Greenman take the lead, and the Aurora Greenman edges CBCA 27-24.
Now for the top plays of the first round. The offensive play of the week started with a pass and ended with a double tap. Maple Heights receiver Ashton Pugh only got one hand on the ball, but he tapped it to himself for a
Sky score. And that was a beauty one, too. Defensive play of the week came from a big upset of the night. Padua Jr. Marquise Hall jumped in front of the Buckeye receiver and raced 70 yards the other way for Padua, pick 6, helping the Bruins beat the Bucks.
And we saw some impressive performances Friday night, but one player had the game of his life on the right night. Kenston running back Sean Patrick ran for 264 yards, racked up another 112 yards receiving, not to mention 4 touchdowns, helping the Bombers upset University School in the first round, and that's why Sean Patrick is the Friday night touchdown HJAC's Plumbing and Heating Player of the Week.
That's all the time we have for this playoff edition of Friday Night Touchdown. We'll be back next Friday with highlights from this second round.
And remember, Ohio State plays Penn State today at noon right here on Fox 8. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next Friday night.